Hunger and poverty in the country is forcing desperate citizens to illegally cross the South African border fence despite the dangers posed by COVID-19. Reports of alleged human rights violations and the abductions of journalists and activists by Zimbabwean officials have rocked the country since the lockdown was imposed. Many people have been arrested and deported, but because of the extreme situation, they come back within hours of deportation.
You came for food.
Yes.
You have children at home.
Children and the grandchildren.
Get inside.
You were coming to get food.
There's
There's no food at home.
Staying with that story, Newzroom Afrika reporter Hitekani Magwedze joins us live at who was at the border post today for us. Hitekani, certainly a gut-wrenching day there, speaking to that woman that was, just describing for you what she wanted in South Africa and really the fact that she wants to make some kind of livelihoods. Tell us about the stories that you had to hear throughout the day from Zimbabwean nationals that were finding themselves in South Africa.
Bongio, I think that conversation with that woman was probably what acclimatized or characterized the story for me today. When we got there this morning, we arrived just after the weighbridge, before the official Beitbridge border post. You'll see trucks lined up waiting to go through. Of course, this is the official border post, so they are allowed to go through taking products in and out of the country as according to the COVID-19 regulations. But driving towards the border post, that's where you'll see crowds of people waiting for Magwedze taxis so that they can go into town where they can buy essential goods and go back into the country, into Zimbabwe. And that's where we approached and found a number of people coming in from the fence. It's a gravel road. If you don't know it, you won't see it along the main road to the border post. And that's where we found the Magwedze taxis, that some of them were driving towards the fence and coming back with Zimbabweans who are not documented, of course, because they jumped the border or the fence. And that's where we found a number of people that were inside the Magwedze taxi. The police came there and stopped 2 Magwedze taxis, and one officer came out and escorted the 4 gentlemen and this woman that we spoke to into the van. And I heard some of them pleading with me, saying that I should speak to the police officer, saying that they have Zimbabwean passports. They just want to come here and buy food and go back. In fact, the police officer responded saying that, well, it's locked down and you've crossed the border. It is not legal, therefore he has to detain them. And that's where we spoke to the woman as well. And Bongiwa, this really broke my heart. This was by far my breaking point. And she was explaining that she has children at home. She's pleading. She just wants to go and buy food and take it back to her children. And that kind of tells the story of the situation in Zimbabwe. Multiple households that are currently under lockdown, but there is no food in the houses. And that, because of the porous borders, has forced them to use that and come into the country to try and get those essential, bare minimum essential goods.
Certainly a heartbreaking story, Hitekani, as you have painted a picture for us. We have been watching those visuals coming out, from that fence today as you were reporting, and, giving us a sense of the desperation that has been painted, there by many, Zimbabwean nationals who are flocking into the country just to try and make ends meet. That's our Hitekani Magwedze there, who has been tracking developments, and I can promise you maybe tomorrow he will be tracking more developments at, that particular fence, and even in and around those areas, just to give us a sense of the kind of desperation that is in that particular place.